said no labs allowed, but the truth is there are lots of scientists who work in the lab and the field. And this final story is about how lab science can help us learn more about the world outside and make it a better place.
We share our world with all kinds of animals, but some chemicals in the products we use can end up in our environment. Hi, I'm Dr. Minna. Let's find out what these chemicals are and what can we do to help our animal friends to avoid them. First, let's take a look at guppies. These tiny little fish are common in our waterways, but it turns out chemicals from the medicines we take when we're sick and chemicals from plastics we throw away, like water bottles, are getting into the environment. Some of these chemicals are known as endocrine disrupting chemicals, or EDCs, and they mimic hormones. Here, we are studying 2,000 guppies to observe changes when they expose to these chemicals. Over 2 years, we've noticed that exposure to chemicals is changing our guppies' mating behavior, depending on how much exposure to chemicals they have. With our collaborators, we are also doing tests in waterways, like rivers and streams, to test and monitor levels of chemicals in the water. Another animal we are studying is worms, these little guys living in the dirt. So how are they affected by chemicals that are found in the environment? Heavy metals are naturally occurring in our environment and are found in rocks, plants and soil. One of these heavy metals is chromium. However, chromium-6, a more toxic type of chromium, is being created and used heavily in the steel industry to build skyscrapers and bridges, and this means excess amounts of it end up in our soil. Previous studies have noticed that worms try very hard to avoid chromium-6 because they are very sensitive to it. In some urban areas, it has been noticed that worm populations are decreasing because of exposure to heavy metals. It even has a negative effect on birds who are eating these worms and getting sick. So, we are planning to make sure that businesses regulate the use of this nasty chemical so that they can be more sustainable and worm-friendly. Chemicals in our environment are also affecting bees. Pesticides like insect spray and weed spray have a nasty chemical called chlorpyrifos, or CPS. CPS is being transferred to bees through pollen in flowers, and it means that bee populations are starting to dramatically decrease. So, what can we do about this? We can use more environmentally friendly and organic products and make sure we check labels to see that these products are free from nasty chemicals. We can also make sure that we recycle, so chemicals from our rubbish don't end up in our earth. Together we can make sure that our wonderful friends living in soil, water and air can live in harmony with us.